up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, the best place for new coaches, content creators, and entrepreneurs. In today's video, I'm gonna answer a question that I've been getting a lot lately. Specifically, every time I post a post like this over on my Instagram, which is basically an audiogram of a snippet from my most recent podcast episode. So this is something I post weekly on my feed. Every single time I post something like this, I always get a lot of DMs, a lot of comments on how I did it. That's why in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a tutorial on how I outsource creating audiograms for my Instagram account. And also, I'm gonna be giving you guys some options on how you can do it as well if you don't wanna do the way that I do it. And so if you wanna learn how to create audiograms and really convert your audio files or some of your videos that you put here on YouTube and repurpose it for Instagram, specifically creating IGTVs, then this video is perfect for you. But also, as you know, something we do here on this channel is we do shoutouts. So let's dive right into those shoutouts first. Massive congratulations to this week's YouTube channel and Instagram profile of the week. Thank you for supporting this channel. Now, if you're interested in being featured too, all you have to do is take a picture of this video and post it to your Instagram stories. Just don't forget to tag me, or you can leave a comment in today's video. Anyways, guys, let's get right back into the video. All right, welcome back. Now this video is gonna be split into two parts. The first part is I'm gonna pull the curtains so that you can see the entire behind the scenes of how I create audiograms like this, which company I outsource to, and also give you a glimpse of my repurposing strategy and how we leverage the company that I outsource to in order to really fulfill our content marketing strategy. So it's gonna be super juicy, and that's gonna be the first part of this video. The second part of this video is I'm gonna share with you a free alternative so that you can replicate what I'm doing at a level that might be more accessible to you. Because obviously I understand that there are a different range of entrepreneurs, some who are just starting out, some who are more seasoned, some who have little budget, some who have a huge budget. And so I definitely want to make sure that even though I'm sharing how I do it, that a good portion of you are still able to try to replicate what I'm doing with other platforms, other services that might be less expensive. And so this video is really meant for you to walk away with some tangible action steps so that not only can you create audiograms like this, but you also rethink your repurposing strategy and your marketing strategy as well. So without further ado, let me reveal to you which company we use to create audiograms like this and also other assets within our business, which I'll share with you in a bit. And so that company is Repurpose House. Now, Repurpose House is a company that basically takes one piece of content of yours. So let's say for me, it could be a YouTube video. They'll take 2 minutes of that YouTube video and put it into multiple dimensions that is available to be put on other platforms. So essentially the idea is that they take one piece of content and they repurpose the crap out of it. So let's say I have one YouTube video, then they're able to take 2 minutes of that video, turn it into an IGTV, turn it into a video that is more formatted for Facebook, turn it into a graphic that I could put on my blogs, turn it into a quote that I could put on my Instagram. You know, it really takes that one piece of content and it multiplies it by a lot. And that's how you're able to really expand your reach with that piece of content. And so I'm gonna share my screen and walk you through more about what Repurpose House is, how we use it, and really show you behind the scenes of what happens when we use Repurpose House. Hey guys, so right now, as you can see, we are on the Repurpose House website. And as you can see, their sole mission is to help content creators really multiply their efforts spent on creating content. And like I said earlier, they essentially take one piece of content of yours and they multiply it. They turn it into different assets and different dimensions that you can use on multiple platforms. And if you really quickly look at the examples, so if you click examples right here, you'll see that they do video memes, they do audiograms, they do image quotes, they do full sets of assets for you, especially if you are a crazy content creator like me. And going down this list, you'll see an example of the different video memes that they've created for other creators, including myself. So here is a video that I actually did on YouTube a year ago almost, and it's all about how to get clients on Instagram. And what they've done is they've taken 2 minutes of that 10 to 15 minute long video and they turned it into its own video meme. And so I'm just gonna click it and show you exactly what I'm talking about and show you a little snippet of what it looks like. Because again, if you don't do anything to bring awareness to your offers, to your services, no one will ever know. And therefore, it doesn't matter if you're getting all this targeted traffic. If you don't direct them somewhere or you don't give them more context of what you actually offer, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to actually find clients. So what I challenge you to do. So as you can see from that little example, it's not taking the whole video that I did, It's only taking 2 minutes, and I only showed you like 10 seconds of it to not make this video too long, but that's just a little idea of what they can do for you, and they already do the transcription for you, which is super helpful when you're repurposing this type of content on Facebook or Instagram or wherever else. Now, moving down the line, you'll see they also do text motion graphics. I don't do those ones, but other creators do. And then they also do audiograms. So this is what a lot of you guys have been seeing on my Instagram. And unfortunately, I don't think my example is right here, but I'll show you a quick example of what it looks like on my feed. So if you go to my Instagram feed, and this is my profile, you'll see that I do audiograms for my podcast. And if we click right here, I'll give you an example. I had invested and joined this program not because it was right for me, but because I thought I had to do it because I thought that was the natural way to succeed. And so as you can see, this is a minute-long snippet that they took from my podcast and turned it into an audiogram that helps me create more content on Instagram and also helps me promote my podcast at the same time. And so that's just another example of what they can do. Now, moving past the audiograms and all that, now they can do image quotes. So what they'll do is they'll take a key thing that you said in your podcast and turn it into its standalone quote image. And so here's an example of one that they created for me, which we haven't released yet on our social media platforms, but this is an example of what they did. So this quote was directly pulled from one of my videos or one of my podcast episodes. I can't remember. And this allows me to have way more content to repurpose on my Instagram account or anywhere else on my blog, on my newsletters, and everything like that. Now, as you scroll down, they also do full sets. So basically, this is an example of the different assets that they can do. If you give them one video or one podcast episode or whatever, they can turn it into all these different assets. Now, what does this look like in my own business? So let me share with you some examples. Now, obviously, the first one is on my Instagram. You'll see that I use it for my audiograms. Then what you'll also notice is if you actually go to my blog over on my website, you'll see that this is also done by Repurpose House as well. And this is a Pinterest pin. And so we're able to put this on Pinterest. Not only this, as you go down this blog that we wrote, we also have an image quote that is landscape format that we've also put into our blog post to make things a little bit more engaging. And so you'll see that we really use a lot of the assets that Repurpose House makes for us. Not only this, if you look at my emails, every week I send a newsletter so that you guys know I have a new episode or a new show or a new video coming out or whatever. It helps you guys keep informed. So if you actually look at our newsletters, not only do I have a GIF, and this GIF isn't made by Repurpose House, it's made by our incredible video editor, Elena. But if you actually scroll down, we've also repurposed some of the assets in our weekly newsletter as well, so that we're really maximizing our assets that are created with Repurpose House. Now, moving on to other places where we use it, if you actually look at my Pinterest profile, and by the way, we just recently started using Pinterest to get more traffic to our business. We have 12,000 monthly viewers since starting like 3 weeks ago, so that's really great. But you'll see that we reuse some of the pins that they've created for us. So here's one example, here's another example, and here are some other examples that they've done for us as well. And so we're really, really maximizing our efforts there with Repurpose House. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly do you work with Repurpose House? What is the process? Now, I'm gonna tell you right now for us, if you actually look at their plans, there are 3 different plans that you could do: the builder, the pro, or the influencer. And by the way, you could use my code right here, VanessaLau20, to get 20% off your sign-up fee. So that is a very generous offer that Repurpose House has given me, because obviously I want to share this to the rooftops because I use it myself in my business and I have proof that I use it myself, and it's been super helpful. Personally, for our business, we are on the influencer plan, so we do get a lot more assets available to us and support available to us. But if you're someone who just wants to do 1 video per week, or you have less volume than I do in my business, then you could do the builder or the pro. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so once I sign up, what happens? Now, for us with the influencer plan, and I believe with the pro plan as well, you could do templates with them and they'll actually custom create templates for you. So let me give you an example. This is our Google Drive, and in this Google Drive, there are 3 templates that Repurpose House has designed for us. And I worked with them personally back and forth to come up with the design, and I can change the designs at any time. So this is our first template. Now, you'll be super familiar with a lot of these assets because you see them on my social media all the time, and all of you guys always ask me questions about it. So here, this is the landscape image quote that we use a lot for our blogs. This is the square image quote that we use or that we will use for our Instagram. This is a vertical preview view of that so that we could put it on, a vertical video that's of this size or IG story or whatnot. This one you can also use for Instagram story as well. This is our Pinterest graphic that we use for Pinterest, as you saw earlier on in this video. This is our IGTV preview. This is basically where you put into IGTV on Instagram. This is the one that you see a lot on my Instagram account. This is the thumbnail for the IGTV. This is a landscape thumbnail that you could put on, your YouTube, your blog, anywhere where landscape format works a little bit better. For example, LinkedIn, let's say. This is our IGTV preview, and you can see that there's transcriptions here. There's a lot of different assets. We don't use all of them, so just know that. This is another Instagram TV example. And they just really give it to us in different formats. So there's the landscape version, the square version. And so really there's a lot of different assets here that are available to us. Not only do we have this one template, we have two other templates as well that we haven't really shown to the public yet. This is another template that we have. And then this is the third template, which is personally my favorite. So as you'll see, you kind of saw this in the examples that they put into their website. So really, when you start working with Repurpose House, they're going to create these templates for you. Now, in terms of workflow and how it's like to work with them, I'll give you an example of a ticket that we've submitted. So this is a ticket that's already completed with Repurpose House, and I'm gonna show you and walk you through what the process is like. But what I really like about Repurpose House, and the reason why Repurpose House are at the prices that they are, is that you're working with real people. It's not an automated service where they're just gonna transcribe your videos automated, they're gonna just edit whatever. It's very, very high touch support. So I'm actually working with a real person called Angela, and this person is actually the one that is creating these assets for me. And the best part about it is every time we submit a ticket, the assets come back to us within 24 hours. So that's just the influencer plan. If you're on a lower plan, it might take a little bit longer, but we need assets fast in my business because we do so much content. This is my secret sauce, guys. This is how I do the things that I do. I outsource. But basically, here's an example of a ticket. So here, when you submit a ticket, they're gonna ask you, what template would you like to use? And so out of the 3 templates that I just showed you, I'm gonna say, okay, template 3. So let's use everything within template 3. Then they're gonna ask you what type of content that you're doing. Is it a video, audio, is it text? Usually in my business, it's either gonna be a video or audio. For this specific example, it's video. So I click video. Now it's gonna ask you which assets we want to use and repurpose. And so these are all the different templates that I just showed you. There's the IGTV thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail, the Square Facebook ads thumbnail, the image quote, all that. Whenever I submit a ticket, I just do all of the above. So I have all the options and I can repurpose basically everywhere in my business. Then here you can just say what title you want for the thumbnail. So here I said how to get clients on Instagram in 2020. And then afterwards you send them the file that you want them to trim. So here I gave them the link to our episode or to our video, and so that they have access to it. So it's completely hands off. I'm not the one that's editing here. Then here you can actually tell them where you want the 2-minute clip to be. 2 minutes max, that's the max that they'll do with this service. And so here, as you can see, we're specifically telling them, okay, so I want this video to start at the 2:58 mark of the original video where I start saying this, and I also want to cut up this parts and these parts. And so I'm really dictating what I want in that video or what I want in that repurposed content. And then for the image quotes is basically that standalone graphic where they pull a quote from. You can just tell them what you want for that image quote. And so it's very, very high touch support, and you still have a lot of ability to be hands-on with it. It's not an automated service, and that is why it is the price that it is, but it is so worth the money. I have used it pretty much every week with my team. And if you have a bigger team, you can just get your social media manager or your VA to just go in there and do it for you. And that's how we do it in my business. And so that's basically it. Let me show you what the final result looks like with this ticket specifically. So with the ticket that you just saw, once you finish the ticket, they will drop it into a Google Drive, which you will have access to. And as you can see, this is the image quote that we ended up creating in different sizes. And this is the exact quote that I want wanted to take out from the video. This is the Pinterest pin. This is the thumbnail for the IGTV if we were to put it on IGTV. So this is the cover for the IGTV. This is just a thumbnail landscape version that we could put on YouTube, on, you know, on blog or whatever. We don't tend to use this too often. And then this is the actual IGTV. Because again, if you don't do anything to bring awareness to your offers, to your services, no one will ever know. And therefore, it doesn't matter if you're getting all this targeted traffic. If you don't direct them somewhere or you don't give them more context of what you actually offer, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to actually find clients. So what I challenge you to do is do this very. So as you can see from that snippet, they've literally transcribed it all for me. I didn't have to do it myself, and you can see that they turned this video, which was originally like 10 to 15 minutes, into 53 seconds. And so this is something that I'll be putting onto my Instagram. And so what's amazing is that this is literally a piece of content that I did like ages ago on my channel, and now, a year later, I'm now putting it on my Instagram. And as this video is out, I haven't even posted this yet because we're just creating a whole library of different pieces that we're gonna repurpose throughout the year. And it's already done on autopilot, and it is so worth it. So make sure that you leverage my discount code to get 20% off if you are an entrepreneur who is desperately looking for this type of service, because it totally changed my life. So use my code VanessaLoud20 if you want 20% off your sign-up fee. But anyways, you'll see that, you know, we've got more video memes here. This is landscape style, so I could put this on LinkedIn if I wanted to. This is square style, which works really well for Facebook. And so as you can see, that's how I work with Repurpose House. And some of you guys might be thinking, oh my gosh, Vanessa, that's so expensive and all of that. But truth be told, at the volume that my business pumps out content, it's actually a lot cheaper to do this than working with a video editor one-on-one, just because of the pure volume of how much content we're doing. And depending on the plan that you choose, so for example, I'm the influencer plan, it's $579 a month. But if you're already making sales in your business and you're already making money in your business, I actually find that it's worth the investment. And here, what's amazing is I get unlimited tickets. So I can submit so many different tickets all the time and my price won't go up, right? And what's also great is that I get my assets within 24 hours, so it's super fast. Now, obviously, that's just within the influencer plan. Within the pro plan, there's different things, and within the builder plan, there's different things as well. But again, guys, if you are interested in working with Repurpose House, make sure you use my code VanessaLoud20 at checkout, or use the link in my description box if you want to book a call with them and kind of figure out what they're all about. Just let them know Vanessa sent you so that you get a discount on your service, because it is so worth it. But anyways, guys, that is basically how I am a content creation machine and the software/company that I outsource a lot to. And I hope that answers the question that I get so much, which is, you know, how do you create these audiograms? How do you do all this stuff? That is basically that. I use Repurpose House, and you get the code there if you want to leverage the same service that I use. All right, so as you can see, Repurpose House is a pretty full stack service. It's not just automated, it's a real person that's actually editing your videos, adding the transcripts, and all of that. And again, here is my promo code if you want to get 20% off your sign-up fee. So make sure you apply this at checkout, depending on which package that you get. Now, for those of you who are thinking to yourself, oh my God, that is such an incredible service, but when I look at the pricing, it's really out of my budget. Well, I do want to give you a cheaper alternative. Now, obviously, this alternative doesn't have the full stack service that Repurpose House has, but it can do the job, especially if you have a podcast or a YouTube channel and you just want to create quick audiograms or quick little videos that you can use as an IGTV for Instagram. And that is the Headliner app. This is definitely one of my favorite alternatives for people who tell me that they can't afford Repurpose House. So let me share my screen and show you exactly what Headliner app can offer. All right, so now we're looking at Headliner. I personally have never used Headliner before, but I do want to do a quick walkthrough of what you can expect when you use Headliner. It's similar to Repurpose House. Obviously, it's less high touch, but the idea is that you can turn your podcast or your videos into audiograms like I have for any of your social media platforms. Now, when you look at the pricing, it's definitely a lot more accessible than Repurpose House, but it's just not as high touch and high service as Repurpose House, obviously, because this is all automated and it's not real people who are doing things for you. And so you could have the forever free option, which gives you 10 videos per month, which is pretty good. And also you could upgrade to the Headliner Pro if you use this service a lot. Now, as you can see from their gallery, you can kind of get a sense of what they do. So they do a lot of audiograms, and as you can see, you might notice some YouTubers here that are using it and whatnot. A lot of this can be used for your Instagram. It could be used for your IG story. It could be used on Facebook. You know, it's really, really easy to kind of repurpose a lot of the old content that you've done in the past, turn them into audiograms, into video memes, and just put it out online. Now, when it comes to what you can create, it's kind of similar to Repurpose House. It's just a little bit more manual. You can do audiogram wizard, full episodes, video transcripts, and podcast auto videos. Now, again, I haven't used this app before, but I did play around with it. And what I noticed is the transcriptions and everything obviously aren't going to be the best. So for example, you could do audiogram wizard, which is basically what we were doing with Repurpose House. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find your podcast, or you can upload a file, doesn't matter. I'm gonna put my podcast, and by the way, if you don't know I have a podcast, it's called Turn Your Followers into Clients, so definitely check it out. Over here for the audio transcription, I'm gonna click on and choose English, and then I'm going to search for the episode. And as you can see, it populates my episodes already. I'm gonna pick one of them, and now it's asking me to select 10 minutes or less of the audio. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna choose a random snippet, so super random. Obviously, if you were doing it, you would have to actually intentively listen. I'm just gonna shorten it so it doesn't take too much time to buffer, and then I'm gonna hit next. Now you can choose the aspect ratio. So for me, I'm just gonna keep it portrait, and apparently it's perfect for Instagram stories, Snapchat, and TikTok. So I'm gonna hit next. Now you can choose your waveform. So I'm just gonna do this cool looking one. I mean, it's super hideous, but just for the purpose of this video. And then you can also add your progress bar as well, which I think is pretty cool. You can put a progress bar at the bottom here. You can play around with the colors and all that. So let's just leave it the way that is. You could change out your image. So right now they're using my podcast cover, but I'm assuming that you could change that up. I'm just gonna keep it the same for the purpose of this video. And then you can change the background. So right now it's black, so I'm just gonna make it like white, let's say. And then I'm gonna hit create project. All right, so now that's all loaded, this is what it looks like. And it seems like it's taken some of the audio that I said and transcribed it automatically. So I'm sure you can actually edit this if it's wrong and everything like that. And let's just hit play and see what comes up. For me in the comment section, there's a level of expectation when you're on YouTube. Not only this, because there's so many things involved, like audio, video, editing, graphic design, there's a lot more tech issues that come up, and it can be really frustrating, and it definitely delays the process of up. So not bad. So as you can see, it actually transcribed it decently well, and I'm sure you could edit this yourself and, you know, fix up the text and fix up the font style to your liking and all of that. So I think Headliner is an excellent option if you maybe are on a budget, or maybe you're less high maintenance like me and you just want to repurpose some of your podcast episodes and turn them into audiograms, or even your YouTube videos as well. Now, so far in this video, I have shared with you 2 different alternatives on how you can stretch your content further, so you no longer have to create new content pieces on multiple platforms all the time. I'm a huge fan of repurposing content, and I've actually found a lot of success with it, especially if you are smart with it and you outsource this to companies like Repurpose House, or you use apps like Headliner. So I really hope that this helped. Make sure you comment below and let me know which one you'll be using, or if you have different alternatives and different resources on how you repurpose your content. Now, as you wait for next week's video, I post a lot of videos on social media, coaching, and entrepreneurship, so definitely check out these 2 videos that I have right here. I have a feeling that these 2 videos won't disappoint, so make sure you check those out. As always, guys, I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and a great life, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!